Are you the linchpin of your business? Is it so hard for you to delegate a certain task and keep your mind away for a second, but you still keep on thinking about that delegated task? Have you been working 24/7 for the last 365 days? And would you think you are not going to have any break at all? This is why you need to autopilot your business or learn how to autopilot your business. In a world of digitalization and automation, how are we as small business owners or big business owners or CEOs for that matter, take that step? We have invited a resource person just for that. A young graduate with a master's in business management, the international version, from the prestigious University of Edith Cowan University, Australia, currently reading for his PhD in management at the International American University in the UK, and reading for his double masters in digital marketing from Asia University. He has held a double postgraduate for management and marketing, and a certified e-marketing associate from the E-Marketing Association of USA. He is a certified professional marketer at Asia Pacific Marketing Federation, a fellow of the prestigious Institute of Management Specialists UK, past executive committee member and currently a member of the Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing, a member of Institute of Management Sri Lanka, and holds many other various memberships with many other commitments to the marketing fraternity of Sri Lanka. Subsequently took over the position of Head of International Affairs at the Federation of Chamber of Commerce and Industry Sri Lanka. Among many other roles and positions, was the local desk in charge for SAARC, CCI, and Commonwealth Youth Representative for Sri Lanka, and subsequently moved to GMM Group as the Chief Marketing Officer. And currently, he is the Director for Eurobranz Private Limited, a passionate lecturer and a senior lecturer at Edulink International Campus as well. We are proud to welcome Shazly Oowise for this session. Shazly, if you could tap into your wealth of knowledge and let us know how to autopilot our business. Shazly, the stage is all yours.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you all can hear me very well. Guys, I need a confirmation. Can you all hear me well?
Yes.
Yes. So rather than me saying good morning, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say good morning, movers and shakers, because you're the guys who move and shake this country. You're the guys who will design the destiny, draw the roadmap of this country. So without much ado, I think whatever Achinta said was, I believe I will not take it seriously. A lot of guys they get mesmerized by qualifications and a lot of other things, and they sometimes get delusion and they just go on a wrong road path. Yes, you need certification, you need qualification, but then again, being an entrepreneur is a totally different journey. So thank you very much, Edulink Campus, for inviting me for this program. And moreover, thank you very much for all the guys waking up on a Sunday morning. It's 9 o'clock, and it'll be boring. And I have guys, I think, joining from not only from Sri Lanka on a lazy Sunday morning. Thank you very much for joining. Let's okay. Let me brief about how this is going to go. Okay. My name is Shazly. You can always address me as Shazly. If you have any questions, you can always raise your hand. Let's try to keep this as an interactive session more than a program. And I will not use much theory, because I don't like theory, because even though I'm a marketer by profession and I'm a lecturer on the other hand, that's my second hat that I wear. Today I'm going to teach you how to not wear hats. Unfortunately, it's kind of two different discussion points. Simply, I would say good morning once again. Now, why are we in this program? First and foremost, Edulink thought this program I think a couple of months back, and they decided that they should do this program like once a month, I believe, and they've been doing various programs, bring down various guest lectures and doing this for entrepreneurs. Why for entrepreneurs? Entrepreneurs are the guys who will be taking this country to the next level. Trust me, it's not your politician. If you think it's your politician, you are heavily mistaken. There's a very reason this country has not been moving forward. Unfortunately, from the time the British left this country, with a golden, I think there's a golden era with a lot of Sri Lanka zero, I think, deficit and debt. And today, you know where we are, unfortunately. So where did you go wrong? Your guys didn't show up. That's the only thing I can say. The entrepreneurs didn't show up in this country. A proper entrepreneur base was not created. We got systems down, we got companies down, but we never created this entrepreneurship where young guys didn't come up. Everybody wanted to become a doctor, they want to become an engineer, want to become. See, when we were young, that's not the only thing that we want to become. You ask somebody, what do you want to become, Shazly? I say, I'm a doctor. A couple of years later, you know, I want to be something else. Maybe by the time you do A-levels, you fall in love with a couple of girls on the road. You forget you forget the dream of becoming a doctor, and you fall in love with something else. Then you change a journey. The Sri Lankan system of education is not set to bring down entrepreneurs. So let's I think Edulink has taken a giant step in moving towards that, and I'm just trying to keep myself, you know, calm, and, you know, just trying to settle into the whole program. Let me start with this. I'll be using a little bit of Sinhala as well, because I think majority of my participants they would appreciate me using Sinhala and English together. I think a combination would be nice, so that it will keep the forum alive. And at the same time, my first language is not English, so if I do a mistake, please pardon me. Okay, let's start this program this way. I'll ask some basic stupid, you know, thing, then I'll answer myself. Okay, before we go into the nitty-gritties of the whole program. The first question: who's an entrepreneur? If I ask who's an entrepreneur, what would be an answer? Can anyone just? I will not take your. It won't take minutes. Just anyone can say who's an entrepreneur. Just a line or two. The same thing I want to highlight. In Sri Lanka, it's very difficult to get answers when you ask a question. I think it's a system that we've been trained with. I think nothing wrong, but that's the system we train. When you're questioned, people are scared to answer. They think when they're wrong, people laugh at you. This is the very reason we don't have entrepreneurship in this country. People think when they start something, they might fail. People might laugh at them. If someone laughs at me, what am I going to do? Now, this question is a burning question that we, as people who set people on entrepreneurship journey, are struggling with. Let me give a little bit of background on me. Usually, entrepreneurs are usually the starters, they are the drivers, they are risk takers. People say they are innovators. We can have a lot of things, but all in all, they are more passionate about what they do. They're very passionate, and they basically love what they do. And I would say they are not money motivated. They are object oriented, they are goal oriented. They move towards certain objectives. Eventually, they end up building a huge dream or an empire. If you start a business thinking that you want to make money, I won't say that business is going anywhere very soon. So let's put it that way. So I have been on this journey. I started my career as a salesman 25 years back, and went through the journey, came to different position, and end up as the general manager for a multinational company. Moved out. So what happened was, I have worked, I have run company. Today I'm running a company, and apart from that, today I'm an entrepreneur as well. I've started a couple of businesses, small ones. I'm supporting a few guys, and this entrepreneur journey, I want to test, and I want to win this as well. So you're talking to a guy who is in all three phases. Because a lot of guys, either they have that, and by the way, I'm teaching entrepreneurship. So I have worked, I've run, I'm managing, and I'm teaching. So it's kind of a very poisonous combination, and I think I'm enjoying it. And I want to pass this journey towards the others, because I don't know how long I'm going to live. So it's always better to pass your knowledge to the next generation. And thank you very much, Edulink Campus, once again for inviting me. These kind of programs, I think we should do a lot of things. Once you learn, you will pass knowledge to the next guy. So entrepreneurs, the most important thing I see as an entrepreneur is he provides jobs. I used to work about 20 years of my career. I used to work for people. About 300 people worked with me in one company. So all 300 were given jobs by this one gentleman who started this company. So he's an entrepreneur. So entrepreneur is a different league. He doesn't play in your league. So everybody, if you want to become entrepreneurs, get your head straight. That's the first thing I want to say. Get your head straight and look at the bigger picture. What am I going to do? What will I do? Where do I going to end up? And in this journey, how will things happen and where do I stand? You do not change your vision of achieving that entrepreneurship goal. In that journey, your company is going to expand, new people are going to join in, things are going to happen, new business are going to come in, you're going to expand the business per se. How are you going to handle it? Now, this is a challenge lot of companies, lot of entrepreneurs faced, and most of them failed as well. See, everybody wants to be a Jack Ma of Ant Group, or we say in your language you say Alibaba, or people want to become Bill Gates of Microsoft and Elon Musk. When they start a business, there is a dream. Not that you can't become Elon Musk, but the point is, once you become Elon Musk, once you become Alibaba, or meaning Jack Ma of Alibaba, can you handle that pressure? Forget coming there. Let's assume you end up in that journey. Can you take up the role? Will you be the same person who started the journey, who still have that passion for entrepreneurship, or will your entrepreneurship thinking will change? People want to become Mark Zuckerberg. Everybody loves Mark Zuckerberg. Can you handle the pressure of Mark Zuckerberg? This is a question you should ask and answer, which I'm not going to help you. But moreover, what you need as an entrepreneur, I'm just the next 10-15 minutes I'll be talking about the basic entrepreneurship. Then I will be moving on to the area that we are going to discuss, so that I'm settling you down, setting up the pitching. We know the exact way of how this process is going to go. The most important thing in entrepreneurship is the charisma. The question is, do you carry that charisma? I have seen so many people when I lecture, they come, sir, I want to start this. I think I can start this. I believe I can start this. I said, if you believe you can start, just go ahead, no problem, start. A couple of months later, I asked, Puta, what happened? You started a business. Was it successful? Where are you now? I couldn't handle it between my company, my office work. I couldn't handle it, and I gave it up. Now, when you come into a situation of such, where a situation of you choosing between your job and your entrepreneurship role, 90% of you all will choose your job. The reason being, it's more safer, because there's a safety net. Every month end of the month, you're going to get your salary. This is something people do not want to change. This is the very reason I'm not an entrepreneur. You're not an entrepreneur right now. I'm sure there are entrepreneurs here, but there are guys who want to become entrepreneurs. They don't want to change this. For the simple reason being, they want to have the safety net. Entrepreneurs have to take risk. So do you have that charisma? Let me give you an example. Once, about 10 years back, I believe this gentleman who came to me once and said, sir, I have this amazing thing I want to start. And I said, okay, what do you want to start with? He said, sir, I want to do this wedding. I think, I don't know, the proper word is florist. It's for wedding decoration and all these, they do this stages and all these things. I said, what do you think about it? He says, it seems to be nice. I said, go ahead, Try it. What's the worst? What's the worst that could happen? You lose there. You might start your job again. No problem. 5 years later, I see him as one of the biggest guys in the industry, setting up wedding decoration and everything for even for the top of the cream of the crowd in this country. And I'm very, very proud of that guy. I don't want to name him because it's not fair using names here. So there are guys I've seen, they become extremely successful. There are so many guys I know, maybe in this forum also, who started small, who are in the mid path. Some are early at the journey, some are mid path of the journey, some are going to end that journey. Meaning they want to trying to achieve what they want to achieve. But focus. The most important thing on this is mitigating risk. Okay, everybody wants to mitigate risk, and they don't want to take the risk of I'm going to invest some money, and it's not easy to find money today. It's not easy, trust me. Nobody wants to put their money and says, "Put here, take 3 million bucks and do this business." No, nobody's going to tell them. It's extremely difficult to do that. Nobody's going to throw their money and give you some more money. So the money that you have, either it's just lifelong savings, your wife's jewelry, the land that your parents gave. People sometimes sell these and they start a business. So how do you mitigate the risk? So mitigating risk is not my area of expertise, but I can tell you how you can come out of it. So I may use a couple of slides that on my other screen, so just to help me with. So please pardon me if I just turn my head. Okay. Another charismatic thing. So starting, you should have a leadership, as I said. Then we should look at mitigating risk. Number 3, you should have communication skills. A great entrepreneur is a guy who can speak well, who can pass on his dream, who can sell his dream. Elon Musk came with his Tesla. People knew Tesla electric cars at that time. Toyota has already was setting up the production. They already had some basic hybrid cars. But when Elon Musk came and said, "This is going to be the future," some people laughed at him. They said, "The electric cars are going to work. The cars are going to run for 40 kilometers. Let's say in America, a country which is what, like 100 times bigger than Sri Lanka. How long can a car run? Where are you going to refuel the car? Meaning refuel the cells. This is not going to work." And today, where are we? Today, every company wants to become an electric car, including companies like Mercedes, who are die-hard petrol buffs, who want to change. So eventually, they will change. You keep on doing what you're doing, the right thing, others will change for you. You do not have to change yourself for them. That's another thing of our entrepreneur. Okay, then you have to learn new skills. Entrepreneurs, most important thing is you have to learn a lot of skills that you either have it inherently, you got it from your genes, or skills that you have developed. There's the very reason you attend programs, you talk to people, you associate people, you listen to people. There are a lot of things that's going to happen. You attend trainings, you study, you do a diploma or a master's program or a postgrad. You have to keep on developing your skills in different spheres. But the biggest thing is build a network, a huge network. So, and finally, I would say you should have a good strategy. That's where people like us come in to help, in terms of teaching. But not every business that's successful had a strategy. Okay, they didn't have a strategy. 90% of them didn't have strategy. On their way, in that journey, they learn strategy. If someone says Facebook was success even before it was launched, trust me, it was not. Facebook was a journey where students from Harvard, they want to communicate in the evening, maybe after school hours in their dormitory. They created this software app and they start communicating. And Mark Zuckerberg saw that as an advantage. He saw that as a gold mine. Now my question is, what happened to the rest of the Harvard students? These are all Harvard students. You think that they didn't know? They didn't see the opportunity in this? They all saw, but they missed the bus. Only one guy picked it up. This is the other problem with entrepreneurs. You see lots of apples on the road, You have to choose the right one. Okay, so moving on. So there are five important characteristics an entrepreneur should have. Number one is communication. Whatever you have, you should be able to tell. You should be able to sell. So number two is selling. Number three is focusing on what you're doing. Never ever get driven by other objectives. Don't change your focus. Do not, they say, defocus yourself. And ability to learn in the whole process. You will fail once. Today in the morning, I saw a lovely quote from someone on the Facebook. They said, you fail once. The second time, when you start, you're not learning. You already have experience, and now you're going to do it. So there, you don't have to get scared of doing or redoing some things. And finally, you should have a strategy. Now, in this journey of becoming success, lots of guys tried. Let me give some names. Rather than see success, everybody talks about success. Success is the easiest thing. When they say, let me tell you a crappy joke. It's a crappy joke. I would say, see, when a lady gives birth to a child, Baba Hamburama, congratulations. Nobody knows the pain and the difficulty they have to go through having that child. Nobody knows that. So success is only the end result, but the journey is the most difficult thing. How do you? Why not? So if you take Sri Lanka, we have maybe 2 million employees in this country. Why not everybody is an entrepreneur? Couple of reasons. Number one, they don't see entrepreneurship. Number two, they are scared to take that entrepreneurship. They want the safety net. Number three, maybe they don't know communicate. Like Harvard guys, they didn't see, or they don't want, or halfway through they dropped it. Now these are the problems you're going to face becoming an entrepreneur. Let me tell you the biggest names. Some of the biggest names that will drop themselves out, or they failed and they succeeded again. If they are successful, they don't hurt their names. There are big names who left out and they went, vaporized. Walt Disney. Walt Disney is such a big name. Every time he tried something, he failed. Eventually, he ended up as becoming one of the global icons of movie industry. People like Thomas Alva Edison, thousands of times he did this electric bulb and he failed. A lot of people only know about this. A lot of people are unaware of the other things that he created. He has so many inventions. He's one of the biggest business guys in America, eventually. The most famous FedEx, his name is Fred Smith. He failed many times starting his. People laughed at him when he started his FedEx thing. People never believed in that. They thought US Postal was the best. Steve Jobs, the Apple guy, so iconic. Apple dogs are good things about Steve guy. They don't know. Steve Jobs was technically chased out of his own company. The own company that he started, he was chased out. Technically, he was sent home. Then people like Oprah Winfrey. She was not given a set. They thought she was garbage, or she couldn't speak. Became the most successful. Oprah Winfrey show became the most successful show, and even today, where she is. We're talking a billionaire. Then we have people like Steven Spielberg, the best directors. They failed many times. And the old joke, Colonel Sanders from the KFC. So trust me, success doesn't come without failures. So before I start my program, I just want to start my program, trust me, okay? You have to get ready for your failures. So you think only small people fail? You think only people fail? Companies fail. Let me give you a couple of companies who fail. The biggest failure at one time was a company called Compaq. The world's largest IT company at that time. The company, I think they bought Tandem Computers, they bought DEC, DEC, one of the largest computers. Never had a vision of going forward. Never saw. Sold out, HP bought over, killed the brand. I would say another fail. It's not a failure. I would say the world's largest IT company, IBM, I think became the world's largest company for so many years successfully. Okay, so many years, back to back. I think about 5 years back to back, the world's largest company, IBM, collapsed. IBM collapsed. Technically, they collapsed. And eventually, they're selling their company into pieces. Then Lou Gerstner Jr. came in and set up the whole process, an innovative thinker, and IBM is back in business. But IBM sold their biggest business, the PC. That's where they made their money. They realized money was not coming from PCs. They sold it to a company called Lenovo. Today, Lenovo is one of the largest computer makers. So you mean to say IBM didn't have the opportunity? No, IBM didn't have the vision to go beyond that point. IBM was distracted. So many companies, so large. Yesterday, IBM's CEO gave his resignation, or he's stepping down. He's moving as a consultant. We know when they say when stepping down, you know what's the next what's going to happen. Companies like Borders, the world's largest bookshops, closed down. Never had a vision. Never had the dream of changing. Kodak, Polaroid, Blockbuster. I can give you names and names and names. I can share you 50 companies if you want on the chat line. Okay? They failed in their journey. Meaning, you and I failing is nothing. So don't worry about failing. Every single entrepreneur who's there today, they only see his success side of the story. You never see the guys who failed. So why do companies fail? There are so many reasons, which it's another day, another subject, and it's more of a theory. But I'll just give you a few reasons. Number one is lack of planning. Then we have failure in leadership. Then there are so many reasons like in financial issues, people don't want to change themselves, poor management skills, lack of sales. I can give you thousands of reasons, but maybe about 20 management reasons for companies to fail, and that's another day, another subject. Okay, but the best 5 reasons right now in today's context for a small company to fail, number one is they're failing to adapt to the online system, or they're failing to get into the digital world. Okay, now someone says, Shazly, my business will not sell through digital. No, it still can sell. I'm not saying digital is not the thing, not the place, but you need to get into the digital world. The famous Kodak technically died because if you ask your mothers, uncles, aunties, fathers, they lived the dream of Kodak. Everybody, when they go on a trip or wedding, anything, the first thing that comes into your hand is that small Kodak, what do you call this photograph thing, the camera, and you have to buy, you go, then take pictures, take the negatives out, and you clear, wash, you have pictures. Today we have phones. Kodak didn't believe in digital age, and what happened to them? They have to close down shop. So number 2, people don't listen to customers. Small timers, what happens is, let's say you start a small business. When you get complaints, you find the complaints as a kind of headache. This is something I am very particular about when I speak. Even in the company that currently I run, I personally prefer to listen to the customer's complaint. Why? He's the guy who's paying your salaries. He's the guy who's paying your kids' school fees. He's the guy who's, so let's look from that point of view. If you look at your customers, one of the most important thing is he's going to complain. When he's upset, he will complain. And people are not willing to listen. They think we are always right. If you think you're always right, you suddenly lose that thing on back of your mind saying that I'm always right, I'm the king. You see a lot of people like that in today's era. They don't want to change themselves for the betterment. Then leverage, they don't understand how big they can become. Companies fall short of achieving their objectives because they can't leverage themselves. They do a business in such a small scale. When they have opportunity to open up, they don't. Your next competitor will take your business away. It's going to happen. And failure to adapt with the current market changes, not only digital age, anything else. So that's the 4th. And the 5th one is, you fail to track your success. A lot of companies don't now see. You take an entrepreneur, you take a small entrepreneur. Let's take a guy who's doing. Okay, let's talk to some of the guys. Okay, can I call one or two names and ask them if they're doing some business? Is it okay? Ashen, is Ashen there? Hi Ashen Tilakaratna.
Yes, sir.
Hi Ashen. Are you what are you into, Ashen? I'm just trying to make it more interactive so that sorry. Yeah, good morning to you, Ashen. Sorry, I should have said that first. What are you into? Are you working? Are you an entrepreneur? Are you aspiring to become an entrepreneur?
Sir, I work as
Sorry, I can't hear
you. Surveyor.
Your line's breaking.
Engineer.
Sorry, Ashen. Come again.
Yes, I'm working as a quantity surveyor.
Oh, you work as a quantity surveyor. So okay.
I'm
a line of business
surveyor.
A line of business that I'm very close to. Oh, I see. Okay, that's nice. So, yes. What is the interest of joining an entrepreneur class?
Yeah,
just want to get to know. You start something of your own. You start something of your own, Ashen?
Sir, yes, sir. I just want to start
okay.
my own
Tell me who's the biggest content seller in this country. I would say Professor Chitra.
Willing to start.
Okay, let's take some examples. Who's the biggest content seller in this country? Professor Chitra Vedikara?
Yes, he's one of.
Yes, he's one of the biggest. Any top business will go to Professor Vedikara, no? Usually, right?
Yes.
Otherwise, it goes to AECOM or one of the larger companies. Okay, so put it this way. Chitra Vedikara, professor, started like you once. Okay, she must have worked for somebody. If she has not decided to start her own, she won't be here, right? Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir, that's right.
Yes. So you also have that path. One day you can. If you take architects, also the same. If you take people like Milroy Pereira, you take these guys started under somebody once, and today they are running their own business. Am I correct? If you take companies like Maga or Sierra, you can name them just for the sector. They would have once worked for somebody.
Yes, sir.
And today they took that entrepreneurial journey, and they are big and they're huge and they're humongous. Today we say, Maga is huge, but nobody knows the path that guy has to take, the difficulties he has to face, the failures he has to face. Nobody knows. So one of the main reasons for success of an entrepreneur is he should take measurements of his job. Meaning, he should know the size of the market he's serving. He should know the people that he's serving. He should know exactly what to serve as well. Do you agree with me, Ashen? Yeah? Yes? No? Anyone can...
yes.
Anyone can challenge me. Please understand. See, I don't have this thing of, I don't have this thing that I'm always right. No, I don't believe in that, because it's an open forum, because everybody is better than me. I think you're more successful than me in your whole path. All right. So moving on. Now, coming back to, have you ever measured your success, or have you ever measured your business? Number one, people don't look at their financial statements, or they do not know how to look at their financial statement. They don't know how to look at their balance sheet, which shows the financial health. Okay, meaning their owns and owings. Okay, and they don't know how to look at the income statement, which gives them the profitability, and the final one is their cash flow statement, which shows how much of money they have. They don't either care, they don't know how to, or they don't want to. Most of these entrepreneurs, their journey dies as soon as it begins, because they start taking money from their drawer. They don't know how to reinvest. These entrepreneurs sometimes are unaware of how to set things up, or they are unaware of, they think, okay, I make some money. Okay, let me give an example. I see lots of shops in Nawala. I use a lot of case studies so that people see. I'm more of a case study guy, where I look at success and failures of through reality. Okay, we do reality checks all the time. There are lots of shops in Nawala. Let me give you an example. See, one of these guys, they will start. They know ceramic industry is a very popular industry. So they say they know they see a lot of profits in the industry. So they say, okay, let's start a ceramic business. That's what they do. They want to start a ceramic business, and what they do is they open a shop. Let's say they pay, they pay high rent, about 250,000 rupees rent. It's very high for now. And you know how they do the calculation? If I can do 5 million sales at 20% margin, I make 1 million rupees. This is how every guy in Navala starts making decisions. Huh? I'm sorry, pardon me if I'm wrong. Okay, I know that business little bit. I make 1 million. When I pay 250,000 as rent, another say 100,000 as salaries, and some other this, that, and the other another 150,000. My cost to run this shop is 500,000. I'm making 500,000 profit. All right. So what I do is I start this and I start running, and you know I get 5 million business. It's very easy to get 5 million business in Navala. No big deal. Okay. And not today, not today's context, not this year, not last year. I'm talking 1 or 2 years back before COVID. Then they realize the harsh reality sucks. What they do is, as soon as they start getting money, the first thing they do is they go to a bank and take a lease a car. Another 200,000 down the drain, they drive a fancy car so that everybody sees them. Now, this is the dream that they live by. When reality starts, when it strikes, then they realize they're too late. Business has gone down. 5 million is not coming every month. Suddenly, the business has gone to 2 million this month. How am I going to pay my car rent? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Eventually, what they do, they sell the shop and they go. Tomorrow they start sari business, or maybe they sell some, you know, maybe they do some furniture. This is the biggest problem with business people. There's a huge difference between businesses or businessmen and entrepreneurs. Entrepreneur is a more accomplished guy who's willing to take risks like a businessman, but he's more educated in different terms, who will look at the risk and returns and will not stupidly invest. That much I can tell you. And he looks at a longer picture. He's not looking at next month, how to fill my stomach this month, my plate. No, entrepreneurs don't look at that way. They look at long-term picture. 5 years down the line, how big my company should be and what should I be doing. So you have to do your income checks. Number 2, you start checking your customers. Are they happy? A lot of guys miss this bus. People come and buy from you. You think you are happy. When they don't come, you don't care. Now, this is something that you should be very, very keen, because these are the guys who are going to make you or break you. It's very easy to resell, meaning a customer who buys from you once, selling to him is the easiest thing, because you don't have to do another pitch. Okay, it's very easy. I always say when I do presentations, I still do presentations, I still do sales. I love to do sales because that keeps me sharp, because I always say I'm a knife. A knife is good as long as it cuts. So it has to be sharp. And at whatever age, knife has to be sharp. Otherwise, it's a single link, you know, if the knife is not good. So what happens is, you have to have a sharp knife. That means you have to be extremely sharp. You have to do presentations. Now, one of the important things I say to customer, I tell them, so if you're happy, you make sure that you tell your friends and your family that we are good. The last 10 years, my company has not advertised. We have not advertised. Maybe a couple of reasons. One is financial reason. Number 2 is we don't want to advertise. Because all our business comes through customer word of mouth. Because we give them a solid product, a solid service, and we tell them, if you're happy, tell your friends. That brings us a lot of business, meaning we are surviving. And last 10 years we are sustained also. Number 3, you keep on checking how many new customers are coming in. People don't keep a note of it. If your average customer, every month, if you don't check your average new customer list, an average customer is losing. Somebody has to switch on I think the microphone. I think his microphone is on and I can hear the bathroom noise. I don't want to hear the rest of the sound on that. All right. So anyways, people don't do performance reviews. They don't perform reviews. Now these are, you think, Adi, Shazly, what are you talking? You're talking rubbish. I'm trying to run a small business. Now there can be a lady who's selling flowers here. I do programs. I go around the country, do programs on entrepreneurs. And once I met this lovely girl, She was selling orchids in Kagon. So I did this program for this thing, and when I finished, she came and said, sir, people hamadema hondai okkoma me passe densa mata me ekakkat karanne bෑ. So I asked Miss mokadda karanne. So I said, come, we're having lunch. I said, come sit on my table. And my wife would not like that, but anyway, the reality is she has to sit. So I sit here talking about the Miss Karanne. So I was talking to her. She said, "So mama, orchid genla vikona. Okay, koinde Miss orchid gen." So mama, kagalle mage podi idamat thiyana sir. Purchase the high the part of the she's raising, doing this. She's kind of florist, so whatever you call them. Sorry, I'm bad with names. She said, "Mama hadana sir, mankiyo komo dikran." So mama. I don't know the numbers now. I'll just give you some bogus numbers, because I can't remember the rupee values. So, hitamuko mama rupiah siya malak vikuna. Mankas miss malak rupiah siya. Idi miss ke mal kawuda ganne miss. Then she said, "Katti avila arang yana." Mankiyo itin katti arang yanne kawada miss. Kolombo thamai vikunanne lokku weddings walta all these things. So I said, "Miss, malak samana kiyawila vikuna." Malak 300 vikuna ඇති Miss Shazly. Me මට එච්චර දන්නේ නැහැ, but මම දන්නේ ඒක වඩා 300 350 තමයි විකුණන්නේ මල. Something like that she said. I said okay. මම කිව්වා ඉතින් මිස් දැන් මල අරන් එන එක මල් ගැන මොනවද දන්නේ මිස්? ඒගොල්ලන් දන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන් මේ ඇවිල්ලා ඔක්කොම කට්ටියගේ මල් එකතු කරන් යනවා. අරන් ගිහිල්ලා ඒගොල්ලන් විකුණනවා. මම කිව්වා ඉතින් ඔය විකුණන බ්‍රෝකර් කෙනෙක්ට නේද මිස්? මම කිව්වා so I asked මිස් ඒ අතරමැදියා නැති කරගෙන මිස්ටයි කියලා කෙලිම කොළඹට දාන්න. පුතේ ඒවා දන්නේ නැන්නේ වෙලාව නැන්නේ මිස් අපිව දාන්න. මම කිව්වා මිස් හැමදාම ඔය කියන කතාව කියපින්න තමයි අතරමැද මිනිස්සෙක් ඇවිල්ලා වතුර බින්දුවක් පොළොවට දාන්න නැතුව මිස් මාන්සෙන් අදන මල මිස් රුපියල් 25ක් හම්බ කරයි මලෙන්. ඉතුරු ඔක්කොම the cost of all this operation you make 25 rupees, okay, and this guy is making 200 without a drop of sweat. Then she reality start hitting her. She said, yeah, that's true. I said, miss කොහොමද මේක handle කරන්නේ? මම කිව්වා මිස් එහෙම නෙවෙයි. මිස් මෙතන ඉන්න කට්ටියකින් මල්ටි එකතු කරගන්න. කොළඹ එක්කෙනෙක් ගිහිල්ලා එකපාරක් කොළඹට එන්න. දැන් දෙපාරක් කොළඹට යන්න. තුන් පාරක් කොළඹට යන්න. දැන් ටිකක් හොයාගන්න. කතා කරන්න. දැන් හිතමුකෝ දැන් මිස්ටර් තියෙන්නේ මල් 50යි කියලා. මේගොල්ලෝ මල් 250ක් ඕනකමනේ ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ. මිස්ටර් මල් 250ක් නෑ. මිස් කියලා මිස්ගේ යාළුවෝ ඉන්නේ සුමති අක්කා කාන්ති අක්කා කතා කරන්න. ඒක කතා කරලා කියන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ 100ට නේ විකුණන්නේ. මම ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ 150ට ගන්නවා. දැන් කාන්ති අක්කා සන්තෝෂ වෙයි. ඒක වාට 150ට දෙන්න. She's making money. So you buy at 150, go to Colombo, sell at whatever the price they're selling there. This is how you increase your leverage. Rather than saying, "Nah, mama karanne." I'll give another example. I was doing another program in Anuradhapura. Why I'm telling you this, I want to learn from experience, so that these are real problems people face. So the one lady came and said, after the program, she said, "Sir, katha karanna puluwan." By the way, if I speak in Sinhala, is anyone not understand who has an issue with understanding Sinhala? Anyone? I can use English. I can go back to English. Anyone? Quickly. So you all okay?
You can brief in Sinhala is better,
You okay? Okay, fine. No, so because Sinhala is more fancy.
We can understand both languages.
Okay, good. All right, so yeah, no, we have Dr. Arwa here. Sorry guys, I have a lady who is a very very passionate person who always joins my program. Her name is Dr. Arwa. Arwa, hi, good morning to you.
Hi Shazly, good morning.
I know Arwa, you have an issue with sorry, she's technically not a Sri Lankan, so yes, she's not technically not Sri Lankan, so I will this basic Sinhala won't you understand?
I understood a bit of what you spoke about the orchid flower.
Let me do a small achar, mix it. Okay. See, so then this lady came to me and said, "Sir, Mama, underwear manufacturer, meaning undergarments. She does, I think, the bras. In Sri Lanka, you have to be extremely careful when you're using the word. So oh, Ilyas, I'm sorry, Ilyas. Okay. So fine. So she said, I manufacture bras, and said, okay, fine. How much you sell a bra for? So they buy for 200 rupees. I'm just giving bogus numbers again. So 200 rupees, and I said, but how much they sell? I don't know. So she said, sir, now I have a big problem. Earlier I was selling at 350. Now I'm selling at 200. I said, why? So now there are 5 girls who are stitching. including her. Say another four businesses have started. So this is the biggest problem in Sri Lanka. Someone starts, everyone wants to follow the same business. So earlier I was selling at 350, now I'm selling at sell at like say 200, let's assume just a number, okay? Now what do I do, sir? I said, no problem. The guy who buys from you buys at what now? You guys have to sell 200 rupees, so he must be selling at 500. I don't know the numbers, because I have never bought one. I never owned one either. Okay, so please. So then she said, okay, why don't you all get together? You know, it's your Chaturangi, your Kanti, your Geeta, your Sumanano in your own village, no? Why don't you five of us get together, have a chat over tea, which they won't do. They hate each other. This is the biggest problem. I said, nah, you all have to get together in this business, because an intermediary is making more money than you all, and it's your hard work. You all get together and says, okay, we have 1,000 numbers of example undergarments. I'm selling at 350 or 500 rupees. This is my price. You buy it or you go fly a kite, because that guy can't stitch it, and he wants it from you all. Only thing what he did is he made the business so good. Now the 3 more guys have come into the business, and you all have diluted your value of it. So you have not created value, you have diluted your value. Okay, so this is something that you have to do. So the guys, just keep that in mind. Then you have to always stay on the current market. You have to know what you're doing, and any changes like IBM, others you'll be like IBM. If IBM can fail, who are you all not to? Okay, and always look at your expectation. If money was your final expectation, you will never be successful as an entrepreneur. If you have a journey, if you have a dream that you want to achieve, you'll be successful, and the money will come in that journey. When Ray Zhengfen of Huawei started his business, okay, when Ray Zhengfen started his business, what happened? His book he has written, The Journey Path or something like that. I have his book. If you listen to him, or you know the company called Xiaomi, we call Xiaomi. Listen to his story. When he started, they never had a vision of making money. They had different dreams. Today they are making money. Today Xiaomi is so powerful, so big. I think one of the biggest mobile operators in the world. Together, Huawei, Xiaomi, Vivo, and Oppo are dominating the world. They are all from China. Technically, China is the world's largest mobile operator in technical terms. Apple can have that dream. Samsung can live in that dream. But China sells more. And eventually, invariably, all these guys are maybe the same owner. God knows. All right. So now we are coming to the point of wearing that one hat. Why should you wear that one hat? A lot of people believe this is a fairy tale. It's a fairy tale that, if you focus on only one, if you focus on many businesses, you'll be successful in many avenues. Now, this is a myth. It's a fairy tale. If you focus on many, you will lose your focus and dilute your focus. Focus you will start segregate and you will start separate. You cannot. It's like getting married. This joke of getting married. Guys who are married, you will tell me. Everybody wants to have the second one, but you can't live with it. Trust me, it's very difficult. Imagine the second and the fourth. People say, I'm a Muslim. So the best joke is say, but this is a very common thing I come across all the time. It's a very nice thing. But lucky. I said, try you know why? It's very difficult. If you can't do it at home, how are you going to do it outside? It's like having a couple of children. If you can't focus on all of them, if you don't love them all in the same way, which you can't, naturally it's very difficult. They grow up in that way. Tata will defend the daughter, Amma will defend the son. My God, what a kacha. The problem is, eventually they grow up in that. Son will always go to the mother and ask, Amma ke puta, Tata ke dua. You will not have a proper discussion at home, because there are people, have bias to certain things. Same thing will happen to you. So Please understand. I'll read something from a line that I came across. If you only start one company, you are limiting your potential. People believe in this. Trust me. The more the business you create, more the better they say. Please understand, you are wrong. You're wrong. Okay? It's not more the better. Please understand, it's best is the better. What you want to do is better. If you can't add value, what happens is your better always become your enemy. So try to focus on one or two businesses. Try to reduce the number of hats you're wearing. Okay? This is the same problem. You know, Mark Zuckerberg wears the same t-shirt every time that you see him. His answer is, so I buy the same t-shirt so that I don't have, now that he has only one t-shirt, I don't have to keep on changing t-shirts, so I don't have to worry, I don't have to waste time thinking about t-shirts. Now look at yourself. When you want, look at a lady who wants to go for a party. You are so confused. If you are confused about your wardrobe, how can you be, not confused about your business? How can you do that? It's very difficult. So remember, once again, CEO Tim Cook of Apple said, lovely story about Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is a guy who's very, very focused on things. He said, do not, even if it makes billions of rupees, do not go beyond what we are good at. Always stick to what you are really, really good at. Stick to it so that you'll be successful. So he says very clearly, he says it's easy to add, but it's hard to stay focused. It's very easy to add. He says, manage. So this is what, if a company like Apple, a $500 billion company, if the owner says that don't do many businesses, look at Apple, they are very, very focused on what they are doing. They have their Apple computers, they have Apple phones. Now they are going to launch Apple cars, that's what I heard, I don't know. They won't go beyond those things. Look at all other companies. Look at IBM. IBM became so diversified. Today they are selling off their companies because they can't manage. They sold their printing company, Lexmark. They couldn't. If anyone wants to know about it, there's a book called Who Says Elephant Can't Dance. If you want, I can share it on the chat line once I finish the class. Anyone wants, you can send me a chat saying, I want the book, Shazly. I'll share it. I think I should have the book. Please read it. It's free of charge. I got it free, so I can give it to you free. Please read it. Okay? So they say, and so the hardest decision we make are all things not to work on. They said the hardest decision is that we will find out what not to do. What we can't do, if we immediately figure out. If you are in a business, the first thing you should figure out is what not to do. Not what to do, but what not to do. Okay? Then you know exactly what you do. You are more focused. Okay? So there are a couple of guys who want the book. I'll once I finish the class, I'll share it on the chat line. And moving on. Steve Jobs said this nice quote. I'll read the quote from him exactly. People think focus means saying yes to everything you got to focus on. Listen to me carefully. Okay? People think focus means saying yes to the thing you got to focus on. That means you have something that you're focusing on. You say yes to that all the time. Okay? But he says, but that's not what it means. It never means that. It means saying no to the 100 other good ideas that are there out there, and you pick the right one. So you understand what he's saying. It is extremely difficult when you go on that journey. The worst journey is getting married, I would say, in a more cheerful fashion. But I'm married. I'm married successfully married for the last 19 years. I have 2 kids. Both are almost my height. One is anyway taller than me. So ladies, I'm sorry, out. But the joke part is, everybody wants to get married. Bend the dawasi indang paare yanakota bandina kamma atallan yanne inning allan yanne paralyzed wage kella inning ane allan yanne balanda love karana jodu inning allan yanne godak kala mali thora godak kala paralysis ari mariya tiyenne eka thamai allan yanne athin allan yanne wate igala disable wage. බැන්දට පස්සේ අතින් අලන එක ජෝඩුවක් මට පෙන්වන්න. එක ජෝඩුවක් පාරේ. හේ මොනවද පිස්සු පාරේ මිනිස්සු බලන් ඉන්න හේ. දැන් අත ගන්නකො. බඳින්න කලින් ඒක කරන එක තමයි වැරදි. බඳින්න කලින් ඒක කරොත් something wrong. බැන්දට පස්සේ you officially given lot of tasks to do, things that we can't discuss. But අතින් අල්ලන්න. එතන මොකද කරන්නේ යන ගමන් අරක බලනවා මේක බලනවා අඩේ අපරාධේ මේක තිබ්බන the same problem will come across once you choose a product, once you choose a journey, as Steve Jobs very correctly says, the most difficult thing is not to choose after that. You will feel like choose මේක හොඳයි අරක හොඳයි you start getting a lot of ideas how to keep yourself away from those. So always think මේක මට වුණොත් මම මොනවද වෙන්නේ. All right, do not carry it away. A lot of people, they measure their success by the number of units they sell, number of customer calls they get, number of hits on their Facebook page. You know the joke. Today people have thousands of friends. When you die, only 10 will turn up. The best friends will turn up. The rest are all Facebook friends. I also have like thousands, So my son said, Ayo Deda, what is this? There's another guy, my cousin brothers. He has 1,800 followers or friends, and you have only 1,000 or something. That he gave me a number. This is the fellow who figures numbers. I smiled and I didn't want to answer him. It's very small. I says, I only keep people who are valued with me. I don't keep friends for no reason. People don't realize this. They go measurement by numbers of units they sell. Do not count the numbers you sold. Look at the value that you have created. The amount of value you create more value, more people are going to stick with you. You can sell numbers. Indian Cherry QQ sell numbers. Tata Maruti sells numbers. But people prefer Mercedes because they give you value. Now, this is something that you have to be extremely careful of. Do not look at how many guys came and clicked your liked your. Half of the time nobody even bothers to read your video. They just click and go. Facebook, you put a picture. Hi, nice, lovely family. What do you know about my family, man? When I put a family picture, come and say, a lovely family. It's just one for the road type karanga. Nobody have things from here. They don't have it from the heart. So don't fall prey or trap into those things. Don't. Those are traps. So then, focus making the best. Always try to make the best. You will be in business. When LG, Samsung started business, they were making cheap products. Cheaper. Nobody wanted to buy. Then they moved their game plan from making cheaper to making a better product. People start accepting them. Today, Samsung is a global brand, an iconic brand. LG is an iconic brand. People respect them more than all the other brands. Today, what happened to national Matsushita brands? Where's Sony? Where's Sony today? Where's Matsushita, or the Japanese company? They have 3 brands: National, Panasonic, and Matsushita. Something like that. Where are they? What happened to them? The glorious Japanese era, what happened to them? Japanese made the best vehicles. People believe Japanese made the best electronics. Where's that dream? Chinese started doing it. They did it better. Simple as that. More focus on what they were doing. Huawei was so focused on what they were doing, became the world's largest mobile operator, meaning mobile manufacturer, until the American came and broke their backbone. Still, they will not give up their dream. They were so focused. People didn't touch Huawei. People today know exactly what Huawei is, what Xiaomi is, what Vivo is, what Oppo is. Big game players. They are focused. They make quality. They never sell cheap products. Today, Huawei's the P50 will be like 250,000 rupees and it's launched. They were struggling to sell phones at 10,000 rupees because they were cheap. When they raised their price to 40,000, 50,000, 80,000, 90,000, 100,000, people started buying them. People started noticing them. People saw them as valued products. Understand? Remember, your business and your careers are no different. Okay? So you choose the right one. Picasso painted. Henry Ford created cars. Now that's different. Picasso could have made cars also, or Picasso would have done some other job. Henry Ford should have done something else. Do what you are good at. In business, always do that, wear that one hat. Do what you're good at. Once you're successful, you can hand over that business and start running it autonomously. You can start the next business. Until such time, do not focus on something else. Picasso, Rembrandt, or all these guys became the best because they only focused on what they were doing. Okay? And they excelled in what they did because they are more passionate about what they did. They gave more attention to it. In simple English, we say they give their heart and soul. They gave their heart and soul. You know, you see a lot of guys who are making burgers down if you go down Marine Drive, there are so many trucks they parked. Now I think they've been banned because of this corona thingy. You know, all these guys, they sell burgers. And so once I said, why are all selling burgers? Why can't you create something new? Lo and behold, chaiwala comes in. The guy comes and says, tea is at 100 rupees. A tea that you can still drink at 50 bucks, he says at 100. And he creates such a ha-ho there. Eventually, they were asked to leave. So much of business. I really, really like. I went and said, I don't drink tea. I don't drink tea. I said, I want to try one. I took one this cinnamon tea and it was nice. But 100 rupees, it didn't make sense to me. But I was watching. All the other burger shops were empty. And this chaiwala guy was crowded so much so. Mercedes, Range Rovers, Land Rovers, you name all the top end cars. I was like, that's the first thing I came to my mind. I went and told my wife, that's something that came into my mind, not being a, being a male chauvinist. I was like wondering what's wrong with these guys. To see, it's because it's a new sensation. Tea. It's not the tea. It's you come there, sit there near the sea, having that tea is a different tea. That's what they created. I know they were selling 2,000-3,000 teas a day, maybe more. I'm sure half of you would have tried that tea here. Chaiwala. Okay? So remember, Bill Gates was successful doing what he was doing and doing it so well. Forget about Microsoft. He built an empire of Microsoft. But he was good software programmer. He started doing it. He went and sold the concept to IBM. IBM foolishly fell into it and they bought it. Today, all the computers cannot live without Microsoft. He was so focused on building that brand. This is what people don't do. When they are half successful, they try to do the second one, the third one, the fourth one. Please stick to what you're good at. If you're good at something, just do it. You can make enough and more money by making the best one. The best example is look at Mercedes. Look at Bugatti, a car, a sensational car. And all the car makers were making cars for $30,000. And at that time, sport cars were like $50,000. Nissan and all these GTRs and all these cars were there. $50,000, $60,000. When Ferrari came into the game, they set the bar at 200,000. Luxury sports cars. And then Lamborghini came in and they were selling at 300,000 max. The Ferrari were all selling at 360, 370, that range, dollars I'm talking now, 1,000. Which is beyond my, my comprehension. Okay. They were the most successful sport car manufacturers. Bugatti, Ferrari and Lamborghini. Everybody knew these cars. Then comes Bugatti. They set the bar at $1.2 million, 3 times more than that. And they say, this is Bugatti. The most exclusive sports car, we only manufacture 50 or 100, and that 100 we will call you. You can't decide who buys, we call you. Even before they manufacture, they have sold their 100 cars, then they come with the next one. Today, they are setting their prices at $1.8 million they were on. Isn't that what you want? You focus on what you do. You create that niche. You create that dream. You select your price. You start following, Ford, or you start following Toyota, you'll still end up selling the car at $70,000. You drive your own path. You create your own path. Moving on. One of the most important things, I would say, see, autopiloting a business has lots of avenues. I can give about 50 different things to work on, but I will only focus on one today. Maybe I will be called for another program maybe some other day. If it's, I don't know, God willing, we will discuss about other areas. How do you be successful in doing what you're doing and trying to be better at doing what you're doing? Focusing on the core thing that you're good at. If you're good at something, just do that. The rest you outsource. Sounds right? No, doesn't sound right. People don't understand. Let's talk to a couple of guys. Let's say Asha. There's a name called Asha. Asha, hi. Good morning, Asha. Asha, are you there? No, Asha decided not to talk. Let's talk someone else. Chatrika Sevan. Chatrika Sevan. I don't know Chatrika Sevan. Chatrika, hi. Do you have to say hi? We can speak to you in the language that you prefer. I speak 3 languages. No, I don't want to. Okay.
Hi.
Hi, Chatrika. You're struggling to get your. Hi, Chatrika.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what do you do?
I'm a student of logistic field.
Yes. Then it'll be very difficult to discuss what I want to discuss with you. Okay, I'm looking at something. Okay, I can give some example from logistic, but then again, I'm going to talk to somebody who's into a real business. Okay, you listen to this very carefully. Okay, then okay, can I get Arua here? Arua, hi.
Hi, Shazly.
Hi, Arua. You are into business, so it's very easy for me to discuss. By the way, guys, I get to know Arua is into silver, right? She makes silver.
Silver and gold jewelry.
She tries to sell herself. That's a problem. she'll somehow sell you. Okay, she's creating this network anyway. See, Arwa, you make what do you call designer things or what? I don't know. I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, it's all handcrafted here locally. All jewelry is handcrafted.
So that means you are good at making those. When you get gold, you try to mold it and do whatever
No,
you do.
that is done by my smith. I have a smith who does that for me, exclusively for me. I do the designing and the
you do the designing. All right. Let me tell you why Arwa is successful. One of the reasons Arwa is successful is Arwa doesn't go mine the gold. She doesn't go looking for gold because she needs gold in her whole value chain. Correct, Arwa? Or silver?
Yes.
You don't go digging and looking for all these things, no?
No.
That's not her job.
No.
Now, there's a bigger problem that we come across. People try to do all those. Now, see, Arwa, let's say you're good at designing this. Say you're a good designer, and what you have done is you have outsourced your manufacturing to goldsmith, right?
Yes.
Right? Because you're not good at it. If you try to do that, you will fail in the concept of your designing by trying to manufacture that, and you may fail. Correct?
True.
So you find the right guy who can manufacture, so that he's also in business. You're also in business. All right? Because he's so good in manufacturing what he's good, his cost is very low, correct?
Yes.
Otherwise, if you start learning this and you try to get your own guy, you have to pay him every month, you have to pay salaries, and there are no jobs, there are certain months that you will not have any business. Still, you have to keep on paying. Am I correct?
No, I have one who's my own guy.
Okay, and maybe you have some business.
Two others who are outsourced. Because
why you outsource it? Because otherwise you have to keep on paying them salary every month.
The skill category is different, actually. The skill category is different.
All right. Let's assume you hire these guys. You're going to keep on paying them for no reason, right?
True.
So what you try to do is, and you're not good at it. Very simple. Let's put it that way. See, you're good at that. You do it. You outsource what's not good at. At the same time, there are new things. By the way, I'm an expert outsource guy. I've been doing outsource for maybe about 10 years. And I really believe outsourcing will be a future for every business. Let's take a small guy who's doing business. Let's assume there are so many guys after this pandemic, they want to start manufacturing, baking cakes. They do cheesecake, that cake, this cake, another. And a lot of guys are moving into the business. I know particularly a couple of guys personally also that they started. Okay, and they were successful. But I told them, keep an eye on what you're good at. If you're good at making that cake, make the best cake. Don't try to make the box. Don't try to do the packing. Just buy it from someone who's good at it. Give design a good design. You give a good design, get it printed from some. Don't try to buy a machine and print the cover. Don't try to cut the box by yourself. Give it to a guy who's real good at it. Because he's also in business. You'll also be in business. Okay. At the same time, he will never tread into your business. I'll give a classic example of Scrum. I work for a company. I don't want to name it for good reasons. We were into data printing. We were the most successful data printing company. Okay, we're the most successful data company in the country. And we have a couple of guys, Pireta fellows who are working. They're not the owner. Owner is a lovely chap. One of the best guys you'll ever see on earth. Okay. So we used to buy, okay, what we do is we print statements for other companies. So bank statements, telecom statements, and all those things. So it's all printed in our office. So all heavily secured. No data goes out. Nothing is discussed. So, it's kind of very high-end security printing. But to send these letters, you need envelopes. So we buy envelopes from a envelope manufacturer, one of the best guys in the country. And we buy about 3 million envelopes a month. So I was the general manager at that time, and I said, we're very happy, and then we negotiated pricing. Say, example, we are buying this envelope at, say, 250. Example, 250, 2 rupees and 50 cents an envelope. We buy 3 million. Okay. And he makes the best envelopes because his manufactures so much of his quantity is so large, he has become extremely good in it. We buy it from him. So our guys who were sent to look at the operation and all, they came and told my MD, says, we should start now. Because we are paying this much of money every month to this guy. I was vehemently against. I said, no, nothing doing, don't do it. It's a wrong decision. He's doing what he's good at. We are good at data printing. That's what we should stick to. Lo and behold, we went and bought a printer, meaning a machine that does envelopes, about 80 million bucks. At the time, we bought a second-hand one. And we failed miserably. We lost faith in that guy. We stopped buying from him. We start manufacturing, and when the machine fails, we can't produce, then we have to buy. The guy said he raised the price. Now the price we are given, we can't match. Worst case is he started entering the data printing business because he knows exactly what we are doing. He started entering, and today he's our main competitor. So be careful of what you're doing. Do not call new competitors in. You share a business with the guys. This is a very thing I always tell. If you are running a restaurant, buy the chicken from some guy, buy the packing from some guy. You do what you're good at. That's cooking and selling. Do not try to run a poultry farm. Imagine the poultry farm fellow starts a restaurant. That's the end of business for you. So remember, I'm going to read something from a couple of slides. So I may look at the other side. Please excuse me. So number one thing that you get when you outsource your operation is you get access to expert knowledge. Say, example, if Arua, I know Arua, so Arua works with good goldsmiths and silversmiths. They know exactly what they're doing. Rather than you are trying to hire somebody and you're trying to create, it takes years and years and years to come there. The best thing is, if you take a company like Toyota, Toyota doesn't manufacture. Other than the engine, everything is outsourced. They're so good at outsourcing everything, and it comes in just in time. It's perfect. They're perfect at their business. Everything comes from outside on time. And they hand over the business to the best of the guys. They give the best of the guys to manufacture. Number two, you can get things done fast because outsourcing guys, they don't only manufacture for you. They manufacture for others. So their numbers are so high, they become the best, and they're so fast and efficient. So find how to outsource. Number three, focus on what matters. It gives time for you to sit and think what to make your product better. If you're making silver, you can make better designs because you have more time to think, because now you have more freedom. Minimizes risk. Imagine you are into something and you had to buy a printer to print something. Imagine the money that you are pumping down, and look at the situation of now, say COVID. No business coming in, somebody has to pay for the printer. If you hire a guy, you have to pay salary for that. So outsourcing reduces the risk. Maybe you're paying 50 cents more. Maybe sometimes, I promise you, when you outsource, actually you pay less because they do such a large number. They're so experts in their business, their cost is low. And they're taking the risk. You're not taking the risk. Oh, Alim, hold on. Alim has said something. I need the glass. All right, Alim, you have a point. Alim, why don't you raise this point at the question and answer session? I'll definitely ask that. Thanks for raising that question, Alim. I think that's a good question. It's a real good question. When we had that issue when we were starting outsourcing. Okay. And I know the business that you're in, I believe. Okay. So now, and it reduces cost. Outsourcing reduces cost because when you start to run your own operation, there are a lot of things that you enter into. Okay. You enter into and you don't do costing for all those. You're very happy doing what you're doing. But outsourced guy, he's focused on what he's doing. He's really good at it. And that's the very reason today look at banks. Banks should focus on the core business, which is banking. Look at a company like HSBC. They're so good in what they're doing. They're so successful in what they're doing. They only do banking. Everything is outsourced. Their back office is outsourced to HDPA, another company that they created, but it's not the bank, by which they save millions. Look at a company, one of the most successful companies in India. That is Airtel, one of the most successful companies. Okay, Bharati Mittal, he's the CEO. Their entire system is outsourced. Their servers are outsourced to IBM. Their system is outsourced to Ericsson. The only thing that they do is sales and marketing, which they are the best. So you stick to what you are good at. Rest you outsource, which will reduce your cost. Tomorrow, if Airtel wants to walk out of the business, they can say thank you to all the guys and walk out. No cost incurred. Not everyone can follow this, but at least try to reduce your stick to the cooperation. Try to reduce all the unwanted operations, including packing. Some people, they go to PETA to buy, they waste their time. They don't put that calculation. Mama PETA gadiko satapana khadi. Mama they look at this. Mama me lunch sheet teka mama me valwaten gattot example rupiah PETA wala sata nuwa. So you go to PETA and buy 100 and come. If you have done a calculation, actually already lost. Number one loss is it's only 10 cents margin that you have got. 10 cents into 100 is what? 10 rupees you have saved. Your bus cost is like, your bus fare is like 20 bucks or 25 bucks. That's number one. Number two, your time. Have you ever put a calculation on your time? How much I value for an hour? Have you ever put that into value? You don't know your value. So you don't put a wage thing. You go try to buy this, that, and that. Yeah, go to PETA, buy. But put a value and say, is it worth buying? Is the quality right? Or you talk to the guy near Vallam says, Puta, Mamma Okkum ganna. Mama PETA me gatot mata me satanu. Mang wage anu part ganna, satanu part ganna, mata ganna den pula mang master dadah ganna. So he is also a happy chap. Adi, this fellow is buying 2,000, I'll bring. At 95 cents I'll buy. I'm happy. I don't have to go anywhere. Talk to the people. Talk to we don't do that. Go cut a deal. They say work while you sleep. Outsource operations run 24 hours, 7 days a week. Professional outsource companies. You outsource your work, even if you sleep, they are working. You don't have to worry about it. Today, all the banks and all these companies have outsourced their statement printing. They don't worry. They just send the data. They don't care. When they sleep, the companies, they work hard and they get it done. Look at the medical operation, this statement writing and all these things outsourced in Sri Lanka. US, when they sleep, our guys are working. They're working. We are working. We do all their work. Outsource helps you to sleep. It streamlines the process because you are handing over your job to the best in the industry. If they have all their certification in that particular area. Okay, and taking advantage of new technology. If you buy a new computer, as an example, okay, you need this particular computer. Say you are a graphic, say you are into some designing and you want this particular machine, say 200,000 bucks. 3 months later, new technology comes in. Now you have to buy that machine. But if you outsource it, you don't have to. That guy will buy because he's doing designing for 100 guys. For him, the cost is very minimal. But you are going to pay another 300,000 for this. Where you are doing 10 designs a month. Outsource it. That's the best thing. Don't try to do it by yourself. And you can focus more on your plan. And more importantly, you enjoy that freedom. When you wear that one hat, and focus on one thing, you have the freedom. Because when you have freedom, you can start thinking, you can start, visualizing and try to make the best in what you have. So as I said, this autopiloting, I can break into 10 different programs because there are lots of areas, but I only took outsourcing and one part of it on focusing today. So I will try to stop here because a lot of guys wants to question. I think there are lots of questions I need to answer. So can I, Achinta, can I open the forum for guys to question?
Yes,
is it good?
Sure, Shazly.
Yeah?
I think there's one question that came to you.
Yes, already. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's might be need. Okay. No, others also now. I'm opening the forum. All right. Hold on. Okay. Someone else says also let us know the topics you would like to cover in the future. Achinta, that's up to you.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing. Trust me, Edulink will be doing every month. We'll be doing a program. Correct, Achinta? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes. Yes.
We'll be doing lots of programs. I think the next Saturday we are having one of the top guys. I think.
7th of August, we are having the first impressions
General Sharath Fonseca is coming.
That is next month.
That's next month. Yeah, no, we let these guys know so that they can come in. I think you should listen to people who have done things. You should listen to people who have done things rather than people, say, someone asked me, should I listen to Philip Kotler or should I listen to a Sri Lankan entrepreneur? I listen to Sri Lankan entrepreneur. Nothing wrong with Dr. Philip Kotler because he has not done on a company. He only has written books. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, guys, sometimes a very controversial subject I like to. But then again, I would like to listen to a guy who has done. General Sharath Fonseca has done. He was in a war. He was part of a war. He knew what war. He knew what leadership is. I think that program is about leadership. Am I correct, Achinta?
Yes.
I think one of the best guys to listen to. So please, forget the politics. I don't think we should listen to politics. I think we should listen to the guy, what he did, what we can learn from it. Okay. So anyways, moving on. Achinta will keep you posted, and Edulink will. I think subscribe. You can subscribe to Edulink page, right?
Yes.
Edulink click on subscribe. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's. I think I'm trying to take your job over. I don't want to do that. I think I'm sorry. So moving on.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah. No. I'm just trying to be nice here. Let's yeah. Okay, Alim has said a lot of businesses fail due to outsource when they start because they know loyalty. I understand. They sell the idea to someone, they'll join with someone who is giving them. All right. Okay. Now, Alim, I think you are from the IT industry. All right. And I know you're exactly referring to this, I think, Asus case or ASA case. Am I correct? Alim, can I get you online?
Difficult to rock at home, but anyway, not only industrial cases, there are a lot of local cases as well.
Lot of cases. No, I totally agree. See, nothing in this world is tickety-boo. You know what tickety-boo is? Nothing is easy work. You very correctly said, Alima. I know. There are times that when you go and outsource your idea, they will take it over and they will do it. I have seen thousands of companies doing that. So you're very right in this. But what I'm saying is, when you're outsourcing, I'm not saying outsource your idea. Please do not outsource your idea. You have to hold on to your core business. I'm only asking you to outsource your businesses or the process that which you may not need. Example. Let's say I'm running an accounting firm. I think I will answer you by doing this. Let's say the HR operation of a company sometimes could be outsourced. Let's say rather than hiring a person, you can outsource it to KPMG or some other company or some. I'm just giving names. So they will look after your HR process. You can outsource. Let's say example, we will take Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola always sticks to. See, Coca-Cola being the global giant in beverages, they don't manufacture their drinks. Do you know that? They outsource it to local manufacturing companies. Now in Sri Lanka, it's done by, now it's Coca-Cola Sri Lanka. Earlier it was done by a company called Pure Beverages. In Sri Lanka, Pepsi Cola is done by, I believe, Varun Beverages, an Indian company who are the bottlers. So what Coca-Cola or Pepsi is sticking to the concept of making the cola. They have the contract signed perfectly. So when Varun comes and makes a Varun cola, nobody's going to buy. So example, let's go to this situation. Go back to this guy who manufactures cake. Let's say I make cakes. Let's say I make cheesecake. I get lots of orders online. They make an assumption. If I start going and finding these crepe papers and packings and boxing and all those things, I'm wasting my time. I'm good at making cake. I will make cake. I'll take orders. I will sell. I will focus on my time, marketing, promoting, and making, which is the core business of mine. Marketing, selling, and making better cakes. I'll stick to that focus. I'll try to focus on that. Buying the cardboard and buying the packing and getting steel, say I may pay 50 cents more to the guys who can do a better job rather than me trying to make the boxes and waste my time. That is where I go wrong. That's where I go wrong. I have to outsource it, not the cake making. This is where the concept goes wrong. If you give the concept, yeah, they will steal the concept. So we don't give the concept. We stick to our core concepts. I hope that I answered that question, or at least a little bit. That's a very long discussion. I know when it comes to outsourcing, I've been doing for the last 10 years, kind of an expert in that. I know this happens very often. In giants, global giants do this. It's going to happen to you all also. All right.
Yeah,
any other
but
questions?
there's a small clarification. Now,
Yeah, please,
just
please.
say now, since you don't know, you know only one part of the business. So what happens to the other part? Then the person who have bargaining power and he will keep on increasing their prices, etc., etc.
You like to give
So
an example?
there should be. For example, you said that the papers or whatever the wrapping items have to. So when he gets some business, he start keep on increasing the prices,
right.
etc.
Okay.
So you have to know the business properly.
Yes. Okay. Let me tell you, Alim. But it's a very good question. I think more than Alim, I think it will benefit everyone. I say, Alim, can I say Alim? Thank you very much, Alim. It's a good question. See, what he says is, if you hand over the business, if you outsource it to other guys, the problem is they may take the leverage. They may take the upper hand and they'll try to raise the price. No, Alim, what we are trying to do here is, see, I should know the basic pricing. I should have done the visit to the PETA market. And on and off, I should see, information is the key. I should on and off visit PETA market. What I'm trying to do is, I should know the market pricing. I should call quotations. I should know, example, whom to outsource it to. Say, example, one guy selling at 1 rupee, the other guy 90. Should I buy the 90 cents on a 1 rupee one? That's the decision I make, because 90 cents guy can give me a crappy product. I don't want that crappy product. I want a better product. So that's the decision I will make at 1 rupee. But very correctly said, people might raise the pricing. That's the very reason you have to have multiple suppliers. And moreover, you should know the market pricing. You should on and off visit. Should on and off is because you should do proper audit on your product manufacturers. Let's say you go to PETA and buy, let's say, butter. Rather than buying butter in a shop in Valawat or Dehiwala, you want to go to PETA and buy butter. Say it gives you 1 rupee. But do you know what you are getting? You don't know. So might as well learn about it. Keep a track. Do auditing. But you cut a deal of outsourcing of buying from someone. Rather than, what I'm saying is, no, you don't try to make the butter. It's not making butter as per se. See, yesterday, Huawei, I think, bought a company or started their manufacturing their own silicon chips. All these days, they were buying from other guys. Now, they just started the company. Yesterday, they officially launched it. All these days, they said, no, we will only focus into this. When Americans hit them, the Americans said, no silicon chips. You are very right, they said. Huawei didn't have chips. Now they have to manufacture. But until that, they had their plans. They knew what they would do. They had backup plans, but they didn't touch it because they were still buying chips from outside manufacturers at a cheaper price. So if you look at IBM, all computer companies, they buy chips from Intel. Intel doesn't raise the price because as soon as they raise the price, they'll go and find another supplier or they'll create their own suppliers. So they also know, I'm talking global businesses, but in local businesses, if the guy raises the price, you change your supplier. Very simple. But for that, you have to have your backup suppliers. I hope I answered the question. And any other questions I can take? Any questions? You can ask questions. Please don't get scared of asking questions. I don't know, you are sending questions on chat lines. It will be very difficult to read.
Shazly, this is Mafaz.
Hi, Mafaz. Do you like to introduce yourself? What do you do?
Yes, Shazly, I think you know me as a school friend, and I'm into architecture consultancy.
Aha, Mr. Mafaz, how are you, man? Nice,
Good,
nice. Thanks for joining, brother. Tell me.
And good morning to all. And could I have some advice on consultancy when it comes to consultancy in architect kind of businesses who give a service rather than a product? How would you advise on entrepreneurship, and how can you kind of autopilot a business or a service?
All right. Okay, I understand what your question is. You want to start your own business of consulting and doing. See, first look at what the current architecture system runs as. If you look at current architects, most of the architects start as small boys. We call junior architects, became senior architects. They run their business. But today, architecture, the industry has come to a kind of a stagnancy. They fight for rupees and cents. Am I correct? It's against their moral values. Am I correct, Mafaz? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct.
You take an oath saying that you can't reduce prices. You will not advertise, kind of things. Am I correct?
Correct. You're correct.
Say something like 4%. Something you have a range that you're supposed to charge. But what they do is they tell the senior architects tell that we have to stick to that, and they go and reduce the price and take business from the market. Am I correct?
Perfectly correct.
Happening. So that's very dangerous. In that scenario, you see, the problem here, Mafaz, I see, is you are sticking to more of an architect business. If you look at the core business, what are you doing? You are selling dreams. Please understand, Mafaz. Today the most successful architect companies, they are not architects. They don't tell them they're architects. They are dream builders. They come to you and they say, we will do this, and this. And they will create a dream and says, meo karat lasana. And they are selling their dream to you at a higher price. Right? There's a huge difference between a normal architect and a guy who builds your dreams. People like to work with people who will build, say, example, I'm building a house. I would like to buy a dream. I want to have a house such a way that others don't have. Am I correct, Mafaz? Is that what everybody wants in architecture?
Yes.
So
they want to live in their house before.
Yes. So if you look at what they want, if you can study exactly what they want, the core thing is it's the dream. Please understand, you are not selling them a house. You are not selling them a building. If you think that you are making a building, if you are thinking that you are selling a design, you are out of the business, because every other architect can do that, Mafaz. Every other architect who gets out of campus of Moratua or University of Moratua or from CSA can do that. But if you pitch yourself as a niche guy, you will listen to them. Today, most of the architects don't want to listen to customers. They have their own vision, own dream. They will sell their dream to you. You correct me if I'm wrong, Mafaz. Okay. What they do is they have most of them, they're either cubist or they are, they're minimalist. They create their design and they try to sell it to you. But how many of them are actually sitting and listening to the customer and asking, what do you exactly want? You tell me your dream, I will design. How many of us that? Because when you become bigger architects or popular architects, people have to buy your dreams. I know a very popular architect house. I don't want name. I think Mafaz, this when I started this business, I think I spoke to you and asked for a name. You gave this name. So one of the biggest architect group. Today they don't have business, meaning their business have gone down so bad. It's 4 letters. I'm sure you know who I'm referring to. Okay. Yeah. 2 guys, 4 letters. You know exactly who I'm referring to. Today they lost business. You know why? I went and started looking for why they're losing business, because customers told me they don't want to listen to people. They're so big, they're taken up by their success. They will tell you what for you to be with your money. So number one, Mafaz, you still stick to the ground rule number 1. That is, your job is building dreams. You listen to them. Okay? You ask them what they want, you give them what they want. Then you charge for that, you can make. Number 2, if you want to do consultancy, you look at what you can sell and what you should not sell. If you try to sell the whole concept, then you will fail. For that, let's say you want to start a consultancy company in terms of building a house, you should have an engineer, you should have a designer, you should have an interior designer, and you as an architect, all 4 has to get together and says you give a completed product that the customer wants to buy. If you don't have these 3 guys with you, or maybe a couple of other guys, even the plumbing guy, at least you should have them with you. Says, madam, I'm going to give you a full solution. Sir, I'm going to give you a full solution. This is the dream that we are going to build for you. And this dream will be coming to realization by these guys who will get involved in preparing that. you understand what I'm saying, Mafaz?
Yes.
Yes. So I think we should have this discussion over a coffee, maybe later. You pay for the coffee. All right?
Of course, sure.
All right,
Thanks
good.
a lot.
Right. Any other guys who want to ask a question? By the way, I'm just having it, please. And Achinta, is it if it's get dragged, is it okay? Another couple of 10-15 minutes, is it okay, Achinta?
Yeah, we were supposed to finish at 10:30.
I know. But
so
if they
I
ask
think
questions, I
last
can't run
final
away.
few questions and we can wind up, right?
Yeah. No, I don't want to run away. Achinta, see, you are the man here. So if you say no, I'm going to close it. Close curtains.
All right. So many
other
people
questions?
ask, what's the name of the book that you mentioned earlier?
I'll share it now.
Yeah.
That is Who Says Elephant Can't Dance?
Who Says Elephant Can't Dance?
Who Says Elephant Can't Dance on Lugersner Jr. I'll share it now. Actually, is it okay if I share the book on the chat line so that everyone can
sure.
use it? But one of my students sent it to me.
All right.
And you have a question? Sorry, tell me. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a two-part question. Outsourcing, yes, big companies see the value in it and they do outsource. But when it comes to small companies, they might not see the value in that as much as a big company. They might see the value of the rupees and cents. Yes. That's the first part of it. And the second part was, what parts would you recommend to outsource?
All right. It's a very long question. It's a make a pantiyakma karanda puluwan question nak Achinta. But then again, I'll simplify it. See, now, why is big companies outsourcing? Is it because they are big? No. Don't get fooled by that. Bigger companies also are like you. One day they were small, they became big. They also want the same thing. They want to make money like you. Only thing is they are making money in a bigger terms with more competition. You are small, maybe lesser competition. But the objectives, dreams, the visions are same. All right. So why outsourcing for large companies, they see the value because their numbers are big. For small companies, outsourcing, I told you in very specific terms. Outsourcing is important because you can focus on what you want to do. Because when you're small, you get easily diverted by different objectives. Let's assume you want to start a small business. Let's say you start a restaurant, you are selling Arabic food. Nagala business is going well and people are happy. Suddenly you are Arabic authentic Indian you start authentic make authentic Indian. Now you may think that it's a brilliant idea, but it's not. People want to eat Arabic will come to eat Arabic specifically. When they want to eat authentic Indian, they will go to an Indian authentic shop. They will not come to an Arabian Indian mix. Please don't mix it. I'm just giving a basic example. We get dragged away by small things. How do you not get dragged away? You stick to your idea. See, the most important thing in your business is your idea, which you bought into business. Let's take a campus. I think I'll use Edulink as an example. Arne? Why I always fight with Dr. Gayatrika. I think she's the big boss there. Iron Lady, I call her. I always fight with her. I mean, not in fighting sense. Gayatrika, why aren't you doing other programs? She says, no, Shazly, we should stick to it. Then after a while, I realized, after she must be having about 15-20 years of education experience, what she's saying is very true. She sticks to MBAs, the top of degrees, right? Am I correct, Achinta? Why? Because that's what we are really, really good at. In simple English, we are damn good at it. Stick to what you're good at it. When a podi I still believe they should do diplomas and certificates. But right now, first you establish what you are good at. Otherwise, you start running after this. You see one deer, you target, you focus, wait, you shoot. You'll never end up shooting one. It's a very crass example, but that's reality. මම ඉස්කෝලේ කාලේ මගේ යාළුවන්ට හොඳ උපදේශයක් දුන්නා. මම ඉස්කෝලේ කාලේ මේක නම් මේ වැරදි අසින්ත මේක ඕලන් ගන්න එපා එක්සැම්පල් එකක් විතර මේක නිකන් කැත එක්සැම්පල් එකක්. ඉස්කෝලේ කාලේ මට ගෑනු ළමයි ගොඩක් සෙට් වෙනවා. සිංගල් සිම්පල් සිංගලෙන් කියන්නේ. මට කියනවා මේ මගේ යාළුවන්ට ඔබට කොහොමද මේ කෙල්ල සෙට් වෙන්නේ? අපිට සෙට් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. So I said, come Monday, you follow me. You know what I do? I go to the bus stand and I don't do anything. I just keep my books in my hand. I look down and wait. සාන්ත දාන්ත තීන්ත කුප්පි කියන්නේ හොඳ ළමයෙක් වගේ බලන්න. අනිත් තුන් ඔක්කොම යන කෙල්ලන්ට hello නංගි, hello akka. This girls don't like that. When they respond to you, they don't like. They look at this guy. Out of all these 15 guys, one guy is silent and looking down and waiting. So they always want that. They have this curiosity. So you create that out of this mud or nelumo wage ekak matu wenawa. They won't talk to you. And 99% sure I can get that. Assist. Focus on one. Killo 10 killo 10ටම කතා කරන්න කියලා නෑ එකක් 10 try කරලා එකක් නෑ වෙන්නේ නෑ. එකක් target කරලා ඒකෙ පිටපස්සේ එලවන්න. This is a very bad example. I think since the class is finished, I think I can use this as a funny example. Focus on one. If you start running after many, you will never end up catching one. මේ ඇත්ත කතාව. Answering a second question, what was that? It's what you should outsource. Right. The first thing you should write down, what is the core business in your value chain? ඒ කියන්නේ business එක පටන් ගන්න තැන ඉඳන් පිටිපස්සේ නම් බඩු say you procure බඩු ගන්නවානේ. එතන ඉඳන්ම you write down your entire process. We call it a value chain. Until you sell, until the customer is a value chain. So from selling in the process, බලන්න මේකේ ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ involvement එන්න ඕනේ මොනවද? There are things that you may not have involvement. I can't tell you make outsource karna. No. In the value chain, you realize now Arwa has outsourced some parts of your manufacturing to that goldsmith. Now she has realized that's not expertise part. Let it give it to me. Maybe some other areas you'll find out which you're not good at. It is you who should make the decision. But the most important thing is you stick to your core objective, the core plan, the core business. Eka outsource karanna. I'm answering Alim also once again. You don't outsource that. Whatever is not important to you. University we can example let's assume. Ape communication, ape branding. No, Achinta samata karanna ඕනේ කවන්නේ. Achinta can what do you do? Achinta call advertising company. You can give it. Correct Achinta? No, ඒකත් ඔයාගේ advertising එකත් ඔයාගේ university එකේ part එකක් තමයි. But අයි අපි advertising company එකට දෙන්නේ. මත ඕක අපි කරන්න ගියොත් අචින්තන වෙන වැඩක් නැති වෙනවා මේ ඔෆිස් එකේ ඕම කර ඉඳලා. හරිනේ? ඩිසයින් කරනවා ඒක අර රිජෙක්ට් කරනවා මෙයා රිජෙක්ට් කරනවා ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකේ අපේ කියනවා අපෝ සල්ලි දෙන්න බෑ කියනවා. ඒව මොනවත් නැහැ outsource කරපු ගමන් they come expertise they may charge you a little bit more. But ඇත්ත කතාව අචින්ත. If you start doing it actually will cost you more. අපි හිතනවා ඒක ලාභයි කියලා. මොකද if you focus more on bringing more people, which brings that's our core objective of bringing more students, right? Where you can make more money rather than spending that. There are a lot of things you actually outsource. Now, office ke team machine outsource nahi. Ashinta, am I correct? Why do you do that? A lot of people don't realize why. Now, ek te hadan ek tiagane te ek bonwat ek scene na ki scene na ki ai me te ko ladui ki ai ek kahata madi ki ai ek ronna honda te machine ek tibba one ek na te bonna atta itur ke Australia lema te ko scene tina hadagena bonna. Outsource operation. You do it yourself. So it's always important you do what you're supposed to do. Any other question? Errol has been raising his hand for a long time.
Errol has a question.
Yes, I think he's raised his hand. Errol, are you there? Errol, I'm sorry you've been raising your hand for a long time. Okay, you can ask a question, Errol. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. And Master, and
call me Master.
First of all,
Call me Shazly.
No, you are a master in this field, okay? And first of all, my hearty congratulations for conducting like this seminars, because this one is very important for the beginners and as well as running companies. And my concept is I'm running now, about that online classified site name called soyamu.com. And also we are engaged with total designing concept. Okay, and
okay,
that is very good. I got good.
Let me give brief for this guy. This guy, okay, I know I heard this business. It's something like Ikman.lk, correct? The new one, right? Very new one in the market. Something very similar, but it's a different concept. Sir. All right. Okay.
Different concept. Yes.
All right. Okay. But similar to Ikman.lk and all these guys, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead, please. Ask a question now. Stick to the question, please.
Question means, because actually these ideas, sometimes we are getting thousands of ideas as per your advice. Okay, we are strict on correct ideas. Okay, that's what I learned from you from the first beginning, not now. Okay, and this is actually a very good idea, because I will keep on touch for that one. So thank you very much for this advice, sir.
All right. Now I'm trying to. Okay. Any other questions, please? There's 6 new messages.
Harun has asked a question, Shazly.
Okay,
How to select a new goal for a company when the original plan or the goal doesn't, work out?
All right. Okay. This is a very, very important thing. A lot of guys have this issue. Okay. While I'm talking to you guys, I think I have shared. I don't know why I can't share this. Hold on. Can you see your screen? I shared this chat line. Right.
Shazly, if you could share it with me when I share the link of the recording, then
so you're going to give it to everyone, is it?
Yeah. Because we'll be uploading this session on YouTube. So I'll put a link to, that document also on the description of YouTube, so that anyone could, download the book as well.
Okay, that's nice. That's very, very nice. All right, now can you repeat the question again, please? How do you choose a goal? Oh, no, I actually shared it now. Is that okay? I think this has gone actually. Is that fine? But anyway, you also can share it, the link, so others who are joining can read it now. Lovely. Yes. Now, answering a question, how do you choose a goal? See, I can answer in a very, very tricky way. The goal chooses you, but see, it's end of the day what you want to achieve, the end objective. Lot of entrepreneurs plan something. They have a destiny that they want to end up somewhere, that we call, where do you want to end up? That's called your goal. Okay, in theory. Let's say you are starting a business, you are setting up, you want to be the most successful, let's say, online business. Let's say take Swemu, then this guy Swemu.com guy spoke. So we'll speak about this. He wants to be the number 1 or number 2, I think, the web directory in the market. Now that's his objective. But there are times that you are unable to achieve your objective due to various reasons. Market collapse, economic reasons, financial reasons, marketing reasons, so many times. Then you see you can't achieve this objective. Then there are times you have to change the goal. You may have to change your goal sometimes. Okay. So what happens is, setting up a goal is something that you have to do, because you should know how to set goals. But that goal should have a couple of things. It should have a vision. It should have an end objective. It should be achievable thing. Something that whatever goal that you set has to be achievable. Current about there, mama rocket attack kya kya kiyan depa. Eka bend bag api danno ne hari amaru. Harda? Ya rocket attack katti no nathu neme, but ehema neme man kiyanne. Then see, Elon Musk and I think the Virgin Group, they're trying to send this thing to space, people to space. Not that it's impossible, but they're spending billions of dollars there. I don't know why they won't do it, but they're doing it. They're very successful about it. But small people like us, we should keep objectives that are achievable and have a time. What within which time I'm going to do this? It doesn't make sense. So you set a time, so within this period, I will achieve these things. And while you're achieving, you keep on measuring. Am I achieving in that time? Cake you can eat it in a slice where small pieces will not, screw your face, make ugly. But you will achieve what you want to achieve. You can eat whole cake, but in small pieces, but in proper manner. That also you have to decide. But the last thing is to change your objective. The whole thing will change. The whole drama will change. There are guys globally who started something, but who will end up something else, doing something else. Colonel Sanders, Colonel Sanders में लोगों KFC business पटांग करना try करे ने. That fellow didn't have a job. Only thing he knew was in the army he used to fry the chicken a different way. මොකද්ද කරේ? කෙන්ටැක්වල පොඩි පාරක් අයින එක පොඩි කඩයක් අරගෙන ණයට අරගෙන his story is there in YouTube, I think you can check. පොඩි කඩයක් අරගෙන පොඩි chicken business එකක් ඒකත් ගොඩක් try කරා එක එක જાති. But he this one was trying with different අර මේවා pressure cooker වල check කළා he failed so many times. He failed. ඔක්කොම දන්නේ ආ pass වෙච්ච එක තමයි. කට්ටිය දන්නේ කට්ටිය fail වෙච්ච ඒවා. මම මේ වචන බය ප්‍රොෆෙසර් මේ කියන්නේ ඕනේ pass වෙනවා fail වෙනවා මේ දවස් ටිකේ. But he failed so many times. Then he eventually got the right one. He ate, that didn't go right, but one weary customer, it's a very long drive on that road, no restaurants, so only his restaurants were there. He think I chicken chicken rahat ne. He ate and says, good, I like it. Can I have it? Then he started making some more and he saw the business in it. He never thought of opening franchises. Trust me, he never. The business so successful. You know McDonald's. McDonald's never opened franchises. Do you know that? McDonald's idea was bought over by another guy. He only opened McDonald's, but under the name of McDonald's. McDonald's just started a burger operation. And do you know Coca-Cola? Dr. John Pemberton never sold Coca-Cola, unfortunately. He made a drink as a drug, meaning for, what do you call, sick, not that kind of drink, just to calm yourself down. I think they had cocaine in that. Not drinking, but he himself he was using cocaine or something like that, something wrong. He became so sick, he sold the company to another gentleman for $100 for that matter, okay? And that guy only made that company successful. So your dream sometimes will not be achievable. Someone else will take your dream and run across. So what I'm saying is that guy saw the opportunity. Kellogg's was not manufactured by the two brothers. The guy who manufactured didn't sell. Younger brother only sold. Go check the history. So what happens is when you have a goal, first you set the goal. If you set the timing on the goal, look at the achievement of the goal, what you need to do, keep on checking, tracking all the time. End of the time, if you can't achieve it, you try it again, you try once more. If you think you can't, you can start a new goal. That is totally on you. We cannot say anything about it. We say, we do know the success. You look at the local operation. I'll tell you a simple local example. I'll end that answering that question. You all of you all know a company called No Limit. Yeah, we call No Limit. Yeah, he started the company as I think French corner with his partner. He and his partner didn't go right in the ideology. So what he did was he gave up the entire company and he started on his own a small company called No Limit. Today, where is he? So his original this thing failed. Original concept of running a showroom failed. But then again, he changed the goal, became very successful. Maybe on the same line, which I think, by the way, he's not a clothing guy. Yeah? He's not a clothing guy. So his objective of setting up. At the same time, a company like Dynamo, a guy who worked abroad, came down, started a restaurant. He was not a restaurant guy, but now he's a very successful operation running in multiple countries also. So trust me, your goals will take you somewhere if you believe in your goals. The last thing you should change is your goal. That's also after many attempts. If you think that goal is not right, then you change the goal. Anything else? The one final question. What do you say about advertisement business plans such as JL Lifestyle? Learn something about their business plan or something like that. I don't know about JL Lifestyle, but about advertisement business plan, I'm not here to answer that. It will take a long time. So for the moment, I'll skip that question. But any other questions, Achinta, or we can wrap up, or you can say whatever you want.
That would be, the time that we are, having, because we started at 9 a.m. Yes. So we started at 9 a.m. sharp and, going on for 2 hours. So thank you, Shazly, for, giving your...
Yes, hello.
Yes, is there one final question?
Mr. Shazly, I am Riaz here.
Hi, Riaz.
What do you think about the delivery platform that I name call or no problem, Pick Me and Uber Eats? Something so you tell?
Can you repeat the question again?
What do you think about the that food delivery platform Pick Me and Uber Eats?
But honestly, I can answer in a very sarcastic way, what I think will not matter. But what do you want me to answer? But you think whether successful or whether you're asking a question? What are you asking? You want to start one like that?
No, I just want really that one clarify.
Okay. That platform made that platform, something like that platform made the world's richest man, Jeff Bezos. Amazon, he's the richest guy on earth. Okay.
I want to explain that pick me also. Mr. Fatih's one.
Yeah, Fatih doesn't own Pick Me anymore. Fatih is a very good friend of mine, lovely, charismatic guy. He's running a different business now, but he was a founder, yes, and a lovely chap. Any day, you can always call and ask him. He'll help you any given day. That much I can tell you about Fatih. See, Sri Lanka was in desperate need for an online platform. See, we were always on offline platforms, and when Uber and Pick Me launched, people thought it will not be successful. See, every idea is a great idea until it's been put into practice. Lots of ideas. Even now, you might have been make a karotunda, you have ideas. Until you have to put into practice, you will see the success and failures. You think Pick Me and Uber the only company who came up with these ideas? There are so many guys who came, who started, they failed. Do you know that?
Yeah.
So Pick Me is not that it's a great idea, it's a bad idea. It's an idea that they orchestrated so well. They performed it so well, it became a great idea. So if Uber is a great idea, Uber India sold. Uber Food sold it to Food Panda. So I don't know if it's a great idea or a bad idea. That maybe they would have gone bankrupt or they are not doing well. They sold. Food Panda bought over Uber in India. You know how great ideas come. Let me tell you, with this I'll close. Okay, so I will not take any more questions, Achinta. Okay, because I'm hungry, not because I love to take this class for the next 2 hours. I love it because there are guys who are listening to me. So the point is, there is 2 or 3 guys in one country. I don't know the country. They were renting a room. They were studying, and these guys didn't have money to pay their room rent. 2 guys. Okay, 2 guys. But then again, they had 3 mattresses. Okay, sleeping mattresses. So these guys, they were planning them school fees given the tone, them boarding fees given the salary. So one guy said, "Api mehma dakka. Api ko atao eka mattress atti no ne. We will put an advertisement. Anyone who wants to come and sleep can come and sleep." See how stupid this idea. See how dumb this is. The mage kamare, mama ma taalu kinna, and all to not tino. Mama gino, me and the at that dala car again. The wood gain salary winning up at a kiyaka girl than the pool. They advertised next day morning, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40. Inquiries came for that, just a mattress. So they rented their mattress. One guy came and they paid. So they saw every night they can rent this. The people come from all this. America is large country, so people come here and all this. So they start setting up this. They thought that is a good idea. So mattress they have come. They got couple of mattresses and they started hiring it. Became very successful. Then they start paying their rent. They realized I have to make a camera. Start renting room. They never bought. They went and said, "Okay, your room, I'll take your room. I pay $50 a month." And they rented these rooms per night. Became the most successful company called Airbnb, the world's largest hotel company at one time. They had the highest number of rooms, even though they didn't own a single room. They all were rented room. They were the world's now. How do you look at the world's largest scale? Number of rooms. Hyatt will have 32,000 rooms, like that. That's how they count all the number of rooms under their brand name. Now Marriott will have, let's say, 10,000 rooms. Hilton might have 30,000 rooms. So the largest will be Hyatt because they have 32,000 rooms. These guys had more than that. And you know, the same thing was duplicated by a young Indian guy, I think Agarwal, I can't remember his name. He didn't have money. He wanted to do something. What he did was, with 50 or 100 rupees in his hand, he took a room. His story is there, you can read it. It's a real story, true story. And Malwa said that clean rent. People got the room on daily basis. Got another room. Went to become the world's largest hotel company, beating Airbnb also. The name is OYO. If you go across Sri Lanka, you'll see Oyo hotels. Wala karana gila kamera kata karala, e kamera, egolan nodidara design karala, eka rent ekada dena. This concept is so good. Megolan gedara kamera tunak kiyemu, api kamera dekka thamai jiyat wenne kiyemu, eka kamera rent karala gedara ekkada kiya kar hamba karaganna puluwan ne. So people love that concept. So actually Sri Lanka should be doing. This is what Sri Lanka exactly, because Sri Lanka is targeting 1.5 million customers, foreigners, and after the COVID, that's what we believe. And when the Terminal 2 is open, we're expecting 3 million people coming in. We don't have 3 million rooms in this country to give. So you have to increase in different formats. Guys, think about it. It's a good business. Hostels are good business. You take a place and you rent, it's a good business. So they became very successful. So likewise, Pick Me saw an opportunity in food. Today, women are becoming lazy. Men don't know how to cook. Women are lazy. It's very easy to bring your food. And I don't know, we order Uber, we order Pick Me, we enjoy it. Because every day we can try different locations. And most of the time I'm on the road or I'm playing badminton somewhere. So my wife can always cook. And when I come home, the food is there. So it's a great concept. But somebody has to start it. All the great concept one day was not there until somebody started it. So Riaz, do you understand the question? Did you understand the answer?
Yeah, I understand. Answer.
Thank you. You also can start something. Until you start it, it won't become a great idea. It's not a good idea. It's a normal idea. Until you put it to practice, become successful, then you become great. Okay? Okay, Ashinta, I'm done for the day.
Thank you, Shazly.
With that, we'll wind up today's session. Thank you again, Shazly, for giving your 110% for this session. I know most of them, must have got something that they came with in their mind to rectify. So answered a long Q&A session as well. So thank you once again. So we'll wind up for today. We have events like Do It Right organized and First Impressions lined up. Please check the links or go and like the Edulink Facebook page to be updated on all these events coming up for entrepreneurs and the working crowd. With that said, I would like to wind up today's session. I hope everyone has a pleasant day. Stay safe and be healthy.
Thank you guys. Good day.
Bye, Shazly.
Bye guys. Thank you very much.